What if I told you that true happiness doesn't come from external validation, but from something far deeper? What if the key to loving yourself was not tied to your looks, achievements, or relationships, but your mindset? Today, we're diving into one of the most powerful practices of Stoicism, self-love that comes from within. If you've ever struggled with negative thoughts about yourself or felt unworthy of love, this video is for you. Before we dive in, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps our journey together as we explore the power of Stoicism and how it can transform our lives. Number 1, understanding self-love according to Stoicism. Self-love is often misunderstood as arrogance or narcissism. In Stoicism, it means recognizing your inherent worth as a human being, regardless of circumstances. The Stoics believe that true self-love isn't about feeling good about yourself based on fleeting success or external factors. It's about cultivating inner peace and virtue, knowing that you are enough as you are. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, wrote about self-love in his Meditations, urging himself to treat his own soul with dignity, reminding himself that he has everything within him to live a meaningful life. Loving yourself, in Stoic terms, isn't an ego boost. It's about respecting your own nature and aligning yourself with reason. In practice, this means focusing on what you can control, your thoughts, actions, and attitudes, while letting go of what you cannot. By doing so, you develop a foundation of inner strength and self-respect. You'll find that the more you practice Stoicism, the more you realize that you are not your mistakes or failures. You are a work in progress, always evolving and capable of growth. This perspective shifts your relationship with yourself from one of criticism to one of understanding. Number 2, embracing imperfection. Perfection is an illusion. No matter how much we chase it, we can never achieve it. In Stoic philosophy, perfectionism is seen as a barrier to growth. Loving yourself means accepting your imperfections and flaws with grace. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, famously said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." The same applies to our imperfections. When we embrace them instead of resisting them, we free ourselves from the tyranny of perfection. Imperfection is not a weakness, but a part of being human. Real-life example. Think of an artist. The most beautiful pieces of art often come from mistakes, imperfections, and unexpected twists. The same goes for you. You are like a masterpiece in progress, and your imperfections are what make you unique. In embracing your flaws, you stop comparing yourself to others. You learn to appreciate who you are right now, and not who you think you should be. This is a powerful form of self-love because it removes the judgment and harshness we often place on ourselves. Number 3, letting go of negative self-talk. Negative self-talk can be one of the biggest obstacles to loving yourself. The Stoics understood this well. They believed that our thoughts create our reality, and by changing how we think, we can change our experience of life. Seneca, another Stoic philosopher, said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." This is especially true when it comes to how we talk to ourselves. Often, the stories we tell ourselves are filled with harsh criticism, self-doubt, and self-blame. These negative thoughts can cripple our ability to love ourselves. Imagine you've made a mistake at work. Instead of beating yourself up, remind yourself that mistakes are part of learning. In Stoicism, we can choose how we react to events. We can use them as opportunities for growth rather than sources of shame. The next time negative thoughts arise, challenge them. Ask yourself, is this thought based on reality? Is it helping me? With time, you'll train your mind to be kinder and more supportive. Number 4, focusing on what you can control. One of the core principles of Stoicism is recognizing what is in our control and what is not. Loving yourself means taking responsibility for your thoughts, actions, and reactions, and letting go of things outside of your control. For example, You can't control how others treat you or what happens in the world, but you can control how you respond to these events. When you focus on what you can control, you stop wasting energy on things that drain you, and you start investing in yourself. Let's say you're going through a tough breakup. While you can't change how the relationship ended, you can control how you process the emotions, how you move forward, and what lessons you take from the experience. By consistently focusing on what you can control, you build confidence in your ability to navigate life's challenges, reinforcing a healthy and empowering sense of self-love. Number 5, practicing self-compassion. Self-compassion is about being kind to yourself, especially when you make mistakes. It's easy to be compassionate toward others, but many of us struggle to show that same kindness to ourselves. Stoicism teaches that self-compassion is essential to developing a loving relationship with yourself. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself to be gentle with his own weaknesses. In the face of failure or hardship, he practiced self-compassion rather than self-criticism. He recognized that he, too, was human and deserving of understanding. For instance, after a setback or failure, instead of harshly criticizing yourself, try treating yourself like you would treat a close friend. Speak to yourself kindly, acknowledge the mistake, but remind yourself that it's part of the journey toward growth. By practicing self-compassion, you create a foundation of love that isn't contingent on your performance, but on your humanity. Number 6, the importance of self-respect. Self-respect is at the heart of self-love. Without respect for yourself, it's impossible to cultivate true love for who you are. Stoics like Seneca and Epictetus believe that respect for oneself is built through virtuous living and maintaining one's integrity. When you respect yourself, you set boundaries, make choices that align with your values, and act with honor. This isn't about being perfect. It's about living authentically and aligning your actions with your principles. If you're constantly compromising your values to please others, it's a sign that you're not respecting yourself. But when you stand firm in your beliefs, even if it's difficult, you reinforce your self-worth. Self-respect is an essential part of self-love, as it reflects the deep acknowledgement of your value and the importance of living a life true to yourself. Number 7, cultivating inner peace. Inner peace is the quiet confidence that comes from within. In Stoicism, cultivating inner peace is one of the most important ways to love yourself. When you are at peace with yourself, external events don't have the same power over your emotions. You become less reactive and more intentional in your responses. The Stoics practiced mindfulness and meditation to center themselves and find peace. They would often reflect on the fleeting nature of life and the importance of accepting things as they are. Next time you face a stressful situation, try to pause and take a deep breath. Instead of reacting impulsively, choose to respond calmly and rationally. The more you practice this, the more at peace you'll feel with yourself. Number 8, investing in your growth. Loving yourself also means investing in your personal growth. Stoics believe that the pursuit of wisdom and virtue was essential to living a fulfilling life. By growing and improving yourself, you increase your sense of self-worth and confidence. Self-love isn't stagnant. It's about continual growth and striving to be the best version of yourself. This could mean learning a new skill, reading, meditating, or improving your emotional intelligence. If you feel stagnant in life, take small steps toward growth. Whether it's dedicating 30 minutes a day to learning or setting a personal goal, these actions show that you value yourself enough to invest in your future. By constantly growing, you reinforce the idea that you are worthy of success, love, and happiness. Number 9, surrounding yourself with positivity. The people and environments you surround yourself with play a huge role in how you perceive yourself. Stoics understood that we are influenced by those around us, and thus, we should choose our relationships wisely. To truly love yourself, you need to be around people who uplift and support you. Toxic relationships or environments can drain your self-love, leaving you feeling drained or unworthy. For example, if you're in a friendship or relationship that brings you down, it's okay to step back. Prioritize relationships that help you grow and support your journey of self-love. Surround yourself with positivity, and you'll notice that your self-love begins to blossom. Number 10, celebrating your progress. Lastly, celebrating your progress, no matter how small, is an important part of self-love. In Stoicism, the journey is just as important as the destination. Recognizing the strides you've made, the lessons you've learned, and the strength you've developed along the way reinforces your self-worth. For example, when you accomplish something, take a moment to celebrate. Whether it's completing a project, overcoming a fear, or simply getting through a tough week, acknowledge your progress. By celebrating your wins, you remind yourself that you are worthy of love and happiness, and that every step forward counts. In the end, loving yourself isn't about being perfect or having it all figured out. It's about embracing your true self, flaws and all, with compassion and respect. The Stoic philosophy teaches us that real self-love comes from understanding our own worth, accepting our imperfections, and cultivating inner peace. By focusing on what we can control, letting go of self-criticism, and investing in our growth, we create a foundation of love and confidence that lasts. Remember, this journey isn't about perfection, it's about progress. So, take it one day at a time, practice patience with yourself, and know that you are enough just as you are. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with others who could benefit from these Stoic teachings. Stay strong, stay mindful, and most importantly, stay kind to yourself.